I'm just tired of working so hard, being gracious at what I do, getting paid a fraction of the cost.
Taraji Henson is not worth the money she's requesting, and it's your fault. I'm JJTP A Lawyer, not your lawyer, still a super lawyer, and this year, like Cat Williams, I'm choosing to start the year with violence. So let's talk about this.
Think, sells, book, sells, game.
Okay, so by now, some of you are already claiming that I'm a misogynist and that you're in the comments talking about me. But let's talk facts over feelings. And I'm gonna try to do this in one take. I'm sure many of you are sitting there screaming, you don't even have many followers. Who are you to say how good she is? It's not about that. This is a business. And the reason I don't do that many videos is because I don't have many followers. Why? Because this is not my job. I am a real lawyer. So that means that my job is not here to entertain you. My job is to be a lawyer. And sometimes when I have time like today, I can sit here and relax by doing a silly video like this that sometimes has facts in it. And the facts are what people don't like. So let's get to the facts. And I'll tell you how this came about. There was an article in TMZ today, and I'm gonna post it, but I'm reading it here, that says Taraji Henson had almost had to drive herself to the Color Purple set. And that was a TMZ article, which I won't post because I understand they do copyright strikes or whatever, but you guys can find it. And the fact of the matter is, she's complaining again. You saw the opening clip where she's complaining that she did not get paid enough money.
I'm tired of hearing my sisters say the same thing over and over. You get tired. I hear people go, you work a lot. Well, have to. The math ain't mathin'.
So there was another article, I believe, where she was offered, I believe it was $100,000 for one of her, the Benjamin Button movie, in fact it was, and she was able to negotiate that up to $150,000. Now there are 2 points here. The discussion I generally would have as a lawyer, because this is my lane, and I do entertainment law, is that you need good representation. Not only in the entertainment world, but in any world. You need to hire a lawyer. I know, you guys are great, you guys are the smartest people in the world, and lawyers just take your money. No, we have a function. It's my job to negotiate good contracts. And so when you negotiate on your own behalf, and you no longer have a good contract, that's on you. Don't come back later on crying and whatever else that you don't have a good contract. I have clients, I have people who negotiate stupid things into their riders, like I only want blue M&Ms, and they get it. Why? Because I know what a rider is. I know what goes into that contract. I know to ask my clients what they want and to negotiate those things on that client's behalf within reason, within their value. And that's point number 2. Point number 2 is, what is her value? All these women, and I was having this discussion back and forth on Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it. Well, she won all these awards and she's a great actress and she's one of the best female black actresses of all time. And this is a business. This is a business. I'm going to repeat it again. This is a business. YouTube doesn't promote my videos because you don't watch them. And just like you don't watch my videos, you don't watch her movies. Don't believe me? I got the facts. And I'll pull it up for you because I have them right here in front of me. In fact, if I come down to the link and we look at how much money gross her movies have made, it says here, according to this, as a supporting actress, she worldwide has made $2,615,531,875. Now, that being said, I would point out that Benjamin Button accounted for, and I don't have the number right here in front of me, almost, 25% of that? I think it was almost 200 million of that number alone. I'm sorry, it accounted for 336 million, or 25% of that number. Benjamin Button, the lead actor, was Brad Pitt. Brad Pitt drew the $336 million. So if she in total, and I think I was doing that based on the domestic, so the 25% might be off because the domestic was 1.2 billion. So ignore the 25%. But even if you took the whatever it was, 2 points, however billion dollars, a massive chunk of that comes from one movie, Benjamin Button. She's done 15 total movies, which tells me that even if the number was, and I'm not going to do 10%, let's just throw the number out there, 10%. If 10% of your money comes from one movie, that means that the other movies weren't that good. So, what does that mean? That means that when she goes out to film a movie, you have a 1 out of 10 chance of making your money back. Hustle and Flow. I've heard somebody speak about Hustle and Flow, and I know that I cited the numbers on that somewhere, but I think it's somewhere around $25 million that movie made or so, and it costs about $2 to make. Yeah, if you make a $2 million movie, guess what happens? You don't get paid that much, because everyone has to get paid. The other actors have to get paid, the other leads have to get paid, the production team has to get paid, the editors have to get paid, the director has to get paid, the lawyers who do all the negotiating and all the contracts and all have to get paid. The people who work on the props have to get paid, the site has to get paid. You get the point. Everyone. So one of the reasons why, by way of example, I don't do many videos, because A, I'm not getting paid for it, B, because you guys aren't watching them. I'm not begging. I'm just being honest. I know I must be not that good at it. Some people, this is their job. O'Shea Duke Jackson, he promotes his stuff. He's not on camera. He does whatever he wants. He'll tell you, listen to any of his videos, that he'll tell you, people who put money into entertainment, they get paid more because their product is better. My product is me and a couple cameras I got here and a couple gimbals and lights. I'm not here to make money. I do it because today I'm bored and I decided to choose violence and make this video and see people get angry that I'm attacking a black woman who's not getting paid enough. But the reality is, you're not paid, and I'm gonna go back to my original point, because you, the audience, the people who are angry about this, do not watch her movies. So, we pull the numbers back up, and I'm gonna put the numbers on the screen, and I'm gonna put the link somewhere so you guys can actually see the numbers, so I'm not just making it up. But when you're looking at it, as a lead actress, she had 11 movies. They made a total of $244,235,548. That's not much. Marvel movies pull that in a weekend. You got 11 movies. 11 movies. So what do you expect to get paid? $1 million? $1 million on a movie when your total movie, even if you took that number and divided it by the 11, give or take, and I'm off because, you know, whatever, if I divided by 12, you're talking about somewhere around $12 million a movie she's pulling in. What about the other actors? Who else is getting paid? So $12 million for a movie that they made, and then you have other actors, and then you have production, you have everyone else. And how much should she get paid as a lead? 10% of the gross of the movie? 10%? So that's 1.2 million. But what about everyone else? What about the profit? Why would I invest in a movie if I'm not getting profit? And a cameo. She was a cameo in one movie. She made $25,000. Oh no, that movie. I'm sorry. Made $25,317,379. I don't know what the movies are. I'm just looking at the numbers. I'm pulling the numbers up here and I'm looking at them. And I'm gonna actually post them, like I said, and you can see what I'm talking about. Interviews. She made $0. Unclassified, there are 6 unclassified things which count for $40,506,110. In her roles in a technical position, executive producer, she has 2 credits on that, $73,412,270. As a director, 0. As a producer, 0. Director, 2 times. Producer, 2 times. $0 accounted for there. So you're not accounting for any money. If you're not making money, how do you expect to get paid? On every episode of Empire, she was paid $175,000, right? So knowing a little bit about the entertainment world and having been an actor myself, not a good one, not a thing. My mother put me in movies. I was in things. I decided to go do other pursuits, be a lawyer. I mean, other things I can do. Obviously, you guys don't watch my videos. Not that good, right? So $175 per episode. So let me break that down to you. generally speaking, can't speak on their contract because I was not the lawyer on that contract, but generally speaking, we're talking about in the neighborhood of 8 hours on set a day. And per episode, you're talking about maybe 8 days of shoot back to back to back with, weekends or 2 days off, depending on how the contract is written. So at best, an episode, a full episode, which is an hour long, which is about 45 minutes, give or take, with commercials, which is about 45 pages, with all that, takes 64 hours to produce. That's what it takes. 64 hours. She's not in the entire episode. She's not in every episode, maybe. Maybe she is in every episode if she's getting paid. So let's assume she's in every episode that she gets paid, but she's not in every scene. So that being said, when you break that down, 175,000 divided by the 64 hours, assuming she's on set the entire time, you're talking 2,700, 2.73, I guess the number comes out to, somewhere around there. So $2,730, give or take, per hour. Per hour. Which one of you makes that? Even as a lawyer, I personally do not bill that. I know bigger law firms. Bigger law firms may bill that. I can't justify over $2,700 an hour. So that being said, let's just be realistic. She's getting over $2,700 per hour. So how are you saying to someone that you're underpaid? Yes, if you can tell me, like any athlete, so, and I'm going off on a little bit of tangent, so I want to get this wrapped up really quickly so I don't have a long video, but I want to explain to you, yes, when you work in entertainment, when you work in sports law, I taught sports law, maybe people can't read what's in the background, I taught sports law, I do entertainment law, these things like that. The argument is the athlete or the performer, be it an athlete or an actor or whatever, is the one bringing in the money, right? Because, but for their actions, the owner doesn't get paid. It's almost like slavery, but I won't get into that. There was a whole NCAA case about that. Again, probably too technical for the YouTube audience. But the issue is that, yes, if you tell me you put a movie out, I put you in my movie, and my movie makes $1 billion, right? You are entitled to a portion of that movie. That billion, I mean, because at the end of the day, your hard work, but for you being in that movie, I may not have made $1 billion. But if you tell me that your movie that I invested in only made 27 million, 23 or whatever it was, 25, I like round numbers, 25 million, like Hustle and Flow, how much do you think you should get paid for that, right? How much? How much? Because I'm entitled to a profit, right? Someone had to invest in it. The actors, the other people on the thing had to get paid. So how much should you get paid? And that's the point. I heard that, for example, in Benjamin Button, she was requesting somewhere around 500 million, right? So 500 million, I don't have I did. Remember, was it 230 or 330? Was it Benjamin Button? But she wasn't the lead role. She wasn't the lead role. We could have made that movie without you. We could have replaced you in that movie. So you're only worth what someone's willing to pay. For example, you go watch a Denzel movie, I don't care what it's about, Equalizer, number 37, Training Day. You want to go see the movie because Denzel's in the movie. That's why you saw the movie. It didn't matter. The movie was trash. The script was trash. The production was trash. Everything was trash. The people was talking over the movie. It was a ghetto movie theater. It was all trash. But you saw it. You might have saw it 2 times. I even saw it 3 times because Denzel was in it, right? Aquaman. DC tried to thirst trap women by putting Jason Momoa in there. Take Jason Momoa's shirt off. Feel every piece of this. And they were trying to attract the female audience. Movie was still trash. Both of them. New one and the last one. They're trash. Trash, okay? But you know what? Somebody went to see it. You know why they went to see it? Because Jason Momoa was in it. Because it was a comic book movie. Comic book movies make money regardless. So you're talking about Marvel? Marvel movies are going to make money regardless. And that's the point. Because if she can get herself in a Marvel movie, it's going to make money. But the reality is, they're not coming to see you, Taraji. They're coming to see the Marvel movie. And that's the point. If you make a movie where you are the draw for the movie, then you would be entitled to that money. And I'll give you one more snippet, which can be its own other video about how the actual industry works. You can get paid for your movie. There's a SAG rate plus whatever. You can get paid for your production of the movie up front and say, you know what, my contract says that for this movie, I'm going to be paid $10 million, $5 million. Or, for example, like Robert Downey Jr. did in Iron Man, and Tom Cruise does in a lot of his movies, which is why he makes a lot of money, is he gets paid on the back end, which means that he gets paid by how much the movie makes. And if the movie does well, he does well. If the movie goes trash, he gets no money. But that's not what she negotiated, because she might have known the movie was trash that she was in. Or maybe she wanted her money up front. Or maybe she needed to hire better representation. And that's the point. If you're worried about whether or not you have to drive yourself to set in your movie, it's because your lawyer and your agent didn't negotiate that into your contract. And maybe it's because the studio said you weren't worth it. But that, I personally, from my personal experience, is the least they can do. So that's all on you, ma'am. I'll be honest, and my DM's are open if you want to hire me, but I guarantee I could have gotten you a better contract. And the reality is, you get to choose what scripts you want and what scripts you don't. And if you choose to take scripts that aren't paying you, you have to take some personal responsibility for that. But just one man's opinion. But let me know in the comments what you think. Is she overpaid? Is she underpaid? Take a look at the numbers and tell me, if you were looking at those numbers and you were an investor, would you pay for her to be in your movie, and how much? Because remember, it's your money. And if she doesn't make money in your movie, then it's out of your pocket. And let's be honest, once more, if you don't go see her movies, you don't have a right to complain about how little she makes, because you're not paying for it either. Anyway, that's all I gotta say about that. Happy New Year. JJTP out. Peace.
Like, follow, share for more JJTP.